Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Kodash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video A Few Words on the New Moon and the Sabbath. Also, did the Israelites have two calendars? So let's get right into it. This shouldn't be long. Anyway, we here at GMS teach that the Sabbath is based upon the new moon. That when the new moon is a reset. The new moon is when you look up in the sky at night and you don't see anything. You might see a crescent or a sliver, a light in a sort of a crescent type light or no light at all. That's the new moon. Not when the moon is full. That's foolhardy when you make that statement. And if you keep it like that, the high holy days and the festivals and the feasts that you're keeping are off. They're not lined up with the spirit. Anyway, I have an article right here. Okay, it says Sabbath Truth. Now, this guy's going to break it down the right way, but he's going to deny it right about here. Because he's not an Israelite. Most High, this man or these men or these people that, own this a site, they're not prophets of the Lord. They're not men of the Lord. They're probably not even Israelites. Anyway, let's go. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to read it backwards. I'm going to read this, then I'm going to come back to this. I have concluded that the data in support of this idea, and we're going to read what the idea is faulty. So he breaks it down the right way, but then he says, Dad, that don't make no sense. It says various parts of it are either speculative or strained inference based or uninspired. To be inspired is for the Most High to breathe on you. In meaning inside of you. Inspire means to breathe in you. This is what our Lord gave Adam and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And that represents, and I did a video on that. There's other videos on that some of the men of GMS put together. That the breath is talking about the knowledge, the information of the Most High. Because Adam was able to breathe naturally, but the breath that was given to him was the inspiration of the Most High. We understand these scriptures because the Most High breathed on us like he breathed on Adam. It says inference-based or uninspired, meaning we just made it up. Whether approached biblically or from a historical standpoint or scientific standpoint, the idea has not stood up to scrutiny. There are not too many people are challenging this. They just said, nah, Friday sundown and Saturday sundown. So let's see what this site says. It says, in the last decades, several persons have approached me with data that they understood to promote Lunar Sabbath calculation. This new and fascinating theory suggests that the 7-day week was reset after each new moon. So based on what I just read, you can't go by Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. It says, and as a result, the Sabbath would always fall on the 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th day, or 29th day. Now, when you look at Gregorian calendar, does Friday always, every month, does Friday fall on 8th, 15th, 22, and 29th? No, it doesn't. So this is obviously talking about the 8th day based upon the new moon, the reset. And as a result, the Sabbath would always fall on the 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th days of the moon cycle of a given lunar month. A lot of y'all go by, well, we got that from the Egyptians. We followed the Egyptian calendar. Did you know that the Egyptian calendar had a 3 weeks in a month? It was a 10-day a week calendar. So you had to work 8 days, and then you got off the 10th. If you was a craftsman, you know, working for the pharaoh, you got the 8th and 9th day off. So it says, of a given month, a large electronic advertising campaign promoting this view has been conducted continuously for years. Let me read that again. A large electronic advertising campaign promoting this. This is telling you that it's based upon the new moon. The reset after each new moon. 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th. So there's people out there that they're kind of saying, well, hey, it doesn't make sense. Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. It says a large electronic advertising campaign promoting this view has been conducted continuously for years. And the result is that many persons now keep a Sabbath that happens generally on either Saturday or that, I'm sorry, read that again. And the result is that many persons now keep a Sabbath that happens generally on neither Saturday nor Sunday, which is the Christian Sabbath, which is complete nonsense. I say generally because I'll challenge any Christian out there, any scholar concerning the new Sabbath is on a Sunday. You don't want to fuck with me. I say generally. See, we got Vocab Malone's head all messed up. This guy, he did a thing on Genesis 33:10 about Esau. Why are you worrying about Esau? Esau is no more. Why are you worrying about him? According to you, he's no more. Why are you worrying about him? It says, I say generally because they keep their Sabbath on a different day of our calendar each month because it's based upon the new moon. Let's come back to this. And as a result, the Sabbath, I'm going to read this. This new and fascinating theory suggests that the 7-day week was reset after each new moon. New moon comes in on a Monday night. That's when the Sabbath, 6 days shall work be one of the 7, is the Sabbath, which is really 8 days. The 8th day, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. And as a result, the Sabbath would always fall on the 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th of a given lunar. Remember, the Egyptians kept the solar calendar. So certain people are saying, wait a minute, man, we've been going off. Sabbath is not based upon Friday. Did our Lord say, well, Friday's coming up? First of all, the Romans, and I have read this a while back, but I got to go back. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the Roman, when I say the Romans, the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire, their calendar was based upon an 8-day week. So if you Christians out there talking about, well, on the first day of the week, that's a Monday, that's a Sunday. Well, the 8th day of the week would be a Monday. So the Lord raised on a Monday. So what is it? And for that matter, how can the Lord be crucified on a Friday, Good Friday, and raised up on a Sunday? And how do you get 3 days out of that? See, we got you Christians. You Christians, you are getting spiritually beat, your ass beat. Let me read this again. And the result is that many persons now keep a Sabbath that happens generally on neither Saturday nor Sunday. Only time you keep a Sabbath on a Sunday if the new moon comes in on a Sunday. I say generally because they keep their Sabbath on a different day of our calendar each month. And that's what we do. That's what Sakari does. And the only people I know that keep the new moon based upon the full moon is the IUIC, which they're clearly going off. They're clearly going off. If the leader of because there's no leadership, there's a leader. There's the leader. Then there's followers. The leader and the followers. If he would come to his senses, he would see that we are correct. Just like he came to his senses on the lake of fire being an eternal hell, that Israelites are going to, 2/3 of Israel is going to burn in eternal hell forever. See, this is what you have, a cult leader. He's a cult leader. Well, wait a minute, aren't you guys a cult? Aren't you? Well, no, there's more. There's leaders. There's leaders in the GMS. Not a leader, not the Grand Poobah. Practically, this means that while there are 7 days from Sabbath to Sabbath in the calendars of the whole planet, and the whole world goes by the Gregorian calendar. The whole world's going to celebrate 2024 on January 1st. It'll come in at different times of that 24-hour period. I think the first celebration is in Australia because it hits midnight. And by the way, a day doesn't start at midnight. See, this is why we know that you Christians don't have the truth. You don't even know when the Sabbath comes in. It says it isn't always for the believers in this theory. They have 8 or 9 days between the 29th Sabbath and the next 8th Sabbath. That is because they have 1 or 2 new moon days added in between weeks each month, and that's true. So he came to the conclusion that I'm going to keep with the way it was, the way I was brought up. Let me just proofread this. Okay, it is suggested that Sabbath falls on the 15th of 3 biblical months in a row. The 3 months beginning with the Exodus from Egypt. See, when we left Egypt and we went into the wilderness, nobody brought a calendar. They didn't go to the local market and buy a calendar. The Most High gave them the calendar in the wilderness, and the calendar is based upon the new moon. It says, as moon cycles are only 29.5, that's what it is. If you do the calculations, 29.5 days long, the Sabbath could not fall 3 times in a row on the 15th unless the Sabbath was lunar based. And the Sabbath the Sabbath is lunar based. Let me read that again. As moon cycles are only 29.5 days long, the Sabbath could not fall 3 times in a row on the 15th unless the Sabbath was lunar based. And the Sabbath is lunar based. And I'll prove that to you. Any expert will tell you that the Israelites kept the let me just do it and put it in like this. Click this here. Okay, it says, what about the lunar Sabbath? A lunar Sabbath would be one that falls 7th, 14th, actually is 8th, because the new moon is the first day. So you work 6 days, that's 7 days, then on the 7th day at evening going to the 8th day. So it should be, they went off. It should be the 8th, 15th, 22nd, and the 29th. It says the new moon in any given month. Where in the Bible does it say new moon is a Sabbath? Let me do this. Let me do it this way. Let me click on this. Did the Israelites follow the Egyptian calendar? The very first instruction that the Most High gave the Israelites is in the wilderness as they were leaving Egypt. And by the way, when they left Egypt, they didn't go through the Red Sea per se. They went through the Gulf of Suez. Anybody want to challenge me on that? Egypt was to establish a new calendar that was utterly unlike the Egyptian calendar. So how did they keep the Sabbath and high holy days in the wilderness. They have no calendar. This may not seem significant to us, but how we measure time is fundamentally for how we look at life. Anyway, I'm going to say shalom.